Welcome to the final episode! Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's your professional yapper here, and today we're back with another episode of Kingdom Hearts Summaries, or Lore Dives, or whatever you want to call this series. And this is the moment that exactly 5 people have been waiting for. We're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, and Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory. I just want to apologize for taking too long to make this video. I know that happens a lot, and I'll do better in the future. And yes, I know there's like a billion other videos on this app talking about Kingdom Hearts lore, but I just really love making these, so... And I do have other Kingdom Hearts content planned in the future. Now let's move on to the end of our story, the end of the Dark Seeker saga, Kingdom Hearts 3. So our story begins with the post-credit scene from 0.2, with Sora going to Olympus and Yancig preparing the Guardians of Light for the final battle, which is the 7 Lights versus the 13 Darknesses. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy must travel to the worlds again to help Sora find the power of waking, which he lost after being almost being Norded in Dream Drop Distance, and Riku had to save his ass. So while Sora, Donald, and Goofy are traveling the worlds, Riku and Mickey are continuing their search for Aqua throughout the Realm of Darkness from the end of 0.2. And Kairi and Lee are training with Merlin to become real Keyblade wielders, and maybe this will be the game where Kairi finally does something. Let's find out. This old fucker's back, Master Xehanort, who is preparing the 13 Darknesses, the real Organization 13. Just really creative naming, very creative. And the members are Master Xehanort, Anthem the Seeker of Darkness, Xemnas, Zigbarad, Luxord, Larxene, Marluxia, Sayax, Terranort, Dark Riku, Vanitas, Young Xehanort, and the final one will be revealed later, and Vexen and Demyx as reserves. And you might be thinking, Anthony, didn't they all die in Chain of Memories or Kingdom Hearts 2? And you'd be correct, but more time travel bullshit. Basically, Xehanort took each member from the time before they got defeated by Zora and Norded them, making all of them vessels of himself. And surprise, surprise, the Disney worlds actually have some kind of plot relevance. So in Olympus, Sora, Donald, and Goofy once again team up with Hercules to save the people of Thebes and rescue Zeus from Hades. It is also revealed that in this world, Pete and Maleficent are looking from the black box from Union Cross, and Sora gets some words of encouragement from Herc. The next world Sora goes to is a new one called Toy Box, and Sora ends up helping Woody and Buzz search for their friends in a mall called Galaxy Toys, and it has been revealed that their world has been split in 2, and Woody, Buzz, Rex, and Ham are in one version, and their friends are in the other. And Sora ends up in a video game called Verum Rex. And you would think Verum Rex would just be a little side mission from the Toy Story world, and Zora was just the Versus 13 reference. But no, this part of the story has actual plot and lore implications for Kingdom Hearts 4 and Yozora. We're going to talk about Yozora later. So obviously I can't talk about Yozora until we get to Remind, but basically he is a reference to a game called Final Fantasy Versus 13 that the series creator Tetsuya Nomura tried to make and develop, but ultimately ended up getting scrapped. Back in Galaxy Toys, Buzz is taken by darkness, and Woody fucking ends young Xehanort.
My guess is no one's ever loved you before, because you know nothing about hearts and love.
So for this next world, I'm gonna be like Sabrina and keep it short and sweet, because this world kind of suffers from the whole doing the movie plot over with Sora, Donald, and Goofy just plopped in their thing that I was talking about in Kingdom Hearts 2, and we're going to be talking about the Kingdom of COVID from Tangled. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy help Rapunzel in her dream of seeing the lanterns, just like the movie. Marluxia is here, and we also learned that Rapunzel is one of the new seven hearts, or 7 lights, whatever you want to call it. Now we're going to move on to one of my favorite Disney worlds in all of Kingdom Hearts, the 100-Acre Wood, and I just love coming back to the 100-Acre Wood in every numbered title. Like, it just feels like home. You get to take a break from all the fighting and the lore and just help Winnie the Pooh on some random little mundane side quests and mini games. And that's exactly the case for this iteration of the world. Also, we learned that Sora's connection with Pooh has been weakened due to him almost being ignored. But no, I really love Sora and Pooh's friendship. He's been there since the first game. They've been through so much together. And somebody pointed out on TikTok that Sora is in the Kingdom Hearts game, Sora is basically a stand-in for Christopher Robin, and I just realized that. Okay, so before we talk about the rest of the Disney worlds, let's talk about Twilight Town, since it has some pretty big plot significance, unlike Radiant Garden and the Final Fantasy characters who have been relegated to DLC content. Sora teams up with Hayner, Pence, and Olette to find Roxas. They go through the computer to find the data Twilight Town that Roxas was stuck in Kingdom Hearts 2, and Sora gets a call on his gummy phone from Ienzo, who was originally Sexian from Organization 13, but after being defeated and turned back into a human, Ienzo decides to team up with Sora and the gang, and he provides information throughout our visits through the worlds about Roxas and Chio. He is also the one to let Sora know that he has 3 people inside of him. And that sounds really wrong now that I'm saying it out loud. Basically, Sora has Roxas's, Chion's, and Ventus's heart all inside of him. Obviously we know Roxas is Sora's nobody. Ventus went into Sora at the end of Birth by Sleep, and Xion went into Sora at the end of Days. Other than that, Sora just does some mini-game stuff, doing missions for Scrooge McDuck and fucking Remy from Ratatouille. Okay, now back to the Disney World. Sora, Donald, and Goofy travel to Arendelle, and they are trapped in an ice labyrinth because of Larxene. She is also in this world trying to get Elsa, because her and Anna are revealed to be 2 of the new 7 lights. Other than that, it's just more or less the movie plot, with Sora fighting a giant wolf-looking Heartless at the end. But can we just acknowledge how good this fucking background music is? Okay, now let's talk about Monstropolis. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy team up with Mike and Sully to protect Boo and save the company, and Vanitas shows up after defeating the large inverse, and Sully literally packs him up and throws him in like a shit ton of doors. He ended that fucking flop. In San Francisco, Sora, Donald, and Goofy team up with Big Hero 6 to defeat the darkness and save the city. And the team, once they are captured by the Dark Cubes, I'm sorry, I cannot take that boss seriously just because their name is literally Dark Cubes. Like, they could have called them anything else. Anyways, Dark Riku shows up with the original Baymax consumed by darkness, and after defeating Dark Riku, Dark Baymax is restored and everyone's happy. And finally, the Caribbean, where Sora, Donald, and Goofy must help Jack Sparrow defeat Davy Jones and break his curse, and we have to race Luxord for some reason. And that's the end of all the Disney stuff. Let's move on to the actual plot. Once again, more time travel bullshit. Vexen is revealed to be a double agent and saves Ansem the Wise, and enlists the help of Demyx to steal a replica body for Roxas. In the realm of darkness, Mickey and Riku are attacked by Anti-Aqua, and Anti-Aqua basically laments the fact that Mickey basically left her ass there for 10 years, knew where she was, and basically just didn't bother to get her until now. Obviously that's not true, but Riku ends up fighting Anti-Aqua, and Sora shows up and saves Riku and restores Aqua to her original form and sends her back to the realm of light. My Shayla, I'm happy Aqua got her happy ending. And Sora, Donald, Goofy, and Aqua travel to Castle Oblivion, but Aqua turns it back to the land of departure and to wake up Ventus. And Aqua ends up fighting Vanitas, and during her fight with Vanitas, just as Vanitas is about to kill her, Sora discovers the power of waking, wakes Ven, and Ven ends up saving Aqua. And they return to the mysterious tower to get ready for the end of the story. Now get ready for the final battle. Everything has led up to this, the final clash between the 13 darknesses and the 7 lights. The Guardians of Light arrive. As soon as they arrive, they are all murdered. And Sora wakes up in a limbo and meets Charity, who helps him restore his body. He wakes up in the final world, and Sora uses the power of waking to save the Guardians. Now get ready to cry. Xion is revealed to be number 13, fights Axel and Sora, and Roxas returns and the three reunite, and Roxas and Xion were brought back using replicas, and Terra regains his body and reunites with Ven and Aqua. And Xehanort ends up killing Kairi.
This woman is my victim of the night. I don't know how it happened, but this woman is dead.
And Sora, Donald, and Goofy transport Xehanort to Scala at Kylum. Y'all remember Scala at Kylum, the place from the mobile game about Xehanort and Ericus' origin story that nobody played? Defeating Xehanort and the real Organization 13, Ericus' spirit emerges from Terra, and basically, I'm still the biggest fucking Ericus hater. Fuck Ericus. Everything I said in part 2 still stands. He leaves Terra, just magically convinces Xehanort to give up the Keyblade, and basically is like, Ventus, I'm sorry for killing you. Aqua, I'm sorry for putting you through a bunch of bullshit, and basically just says fuck Terra. Nope, I'm still the biggest Ericus hater. And Sora uses the power of waking to save Kairi, erasing himself in the process as everybody else gets their happy ending. Everybody's reunited, everybody's happy. The end. Until Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. Episode 1, the Remind episode, Sora ends up traveling back in time to the final battle to reach Kairi, and after restoring Kairi's heart, they return to Destiny Islands where Sora disappears. In the Limika episode, a year after Sora's disappearance, his friends begin searching for him. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy search every single world that Sora's been to. Terra, Ven, and Aqua go back to the realm of darkness. Riku meets with the Final Fantasy characters who have been relegated to DLC content after Nomura ignored them in the base game, and after the fans clamored and complained about them not being in the base game. Nomura just threw him in the DLC. And Data Sora makes his not-so-triumphant return. Riku is approached by the Fairy Godmother to meet against Sid. And in the secret episode, Sora ends up in the final world in a big city, and he ends up fighting Dylan Sprouse. And if Sora wins, he returns to the final world. If he loses, Sora crystallizes him. And the episode ends with Sora in a car with a closing narration with him saying Sora's famous line from KH3, which is, "I've been having these weird dreams lately, like is any of this for real or not?" And that's the end of Remind, but not to fear, we still have Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. But before we get into this, I just want to talk about the post-credit scene from Kingdom Hearts 3, the base game that I forgot about, with Zigbar, I say in air quotes, meeting with the Foretellers, who he has brought back after the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and he brought back all of them except for Ava, which still hasn't been revealed why, and it has been revealed that Zigbar has been a Lushu this whole time. This whole fucking time. So there's like 5 different... So Lushu just has a bunch of different forms. He had Zigbar, Break, Bragi, possibly Brain. I'm still confused on how that works. But yeah, Zigbar fulfilled his role. So back to Melmem. So this game kind of doesn't have that much story due to it just being a rhythm game. So I didn't even bother writing a chapter for it. But basically the story of Melmen. But following Sora's disappearance, Kairi enters a deep sleep under Ansem the Wise's observation, creating a dream world for her memories of Sora to search for her clues about his whereabouts within her own heart. Towards the end of her dream, Kairi confronts an illusion of Xehanort who overpowers her before Sora remotely takes control of her body and defeats him. Before Kairi reawakens, Xehanort reminds her of when he sent her away from Radiant Garden in her childhood, during which he mentioned the world on the other side. Kairi reports her findings to Ansem, who reasons the other side to mean a fictional world beyond their reality. Kairi is then approached by the fairy godmother, who sends her and Riku to the final world to meet the heart of a girl from other reality, who we refer to as the Nameless Star. Riku explains his dream of a modern metropolis to the girl, who recognizes it as a city in her world called Quadratum, allowing Riku to open a portal to the other reality and begin his search for Sora, while Kairi remains behind to resume her Keyblade training. In a post-credit scene, Kairi decides to study under Aqua, while Yensid sends Donald and Goofy to inform the rest of their comrades of their progress, and Mickey to Scala and Kylam to investigate the ancient Keyblade Masters and how they may be connected to the other reality. And normally you would think this would be the end of the video, where I spend like 2 minutes talking about random bullshit and thanking you guys like a million times. But I have a special surprise! Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. So I decided to add in KH3 and Missing Link because I thought this video was getting a little too short, and because we've been in a major Kingdom Hearts drought and haven't had shit. Anyways, Missing Link takes place right after Union Cross. It takes place right in between Union Cross and Dark Road, and this is supposed to be like the missing piece of the story. There have been a couple betas, and with those betas, cutscenes and story information have been revealed. There's going to be something called the Astral Plane, which is, I'm assuming, is going to be very important, and I think that's how we're going to travel through worlds. And yeah, like I'm very excited for this game. I'm excited for the story, even though I just said that I do not care for those mobile games that much. I think this looks cool. There's gonna be actual cutscenes. I think it's gonna be better than Union Cross or Dark Road, and I think they need to do like some type of remaster for Union Cross or turn it into like a movie like they did Coded Our Days, because I feel like Union Cross being a mobile game does not do the story justice. Especially with the background lore of major characters like Marluxia, Ventus, Larxene, and even the Master, who is supposed to be like the big bad for this next arc. All that lore is stuck on a mobile game that nobody can even play anymore because they took it down in the App Store. I feel like there has to be at least some type of Union Cross remake down the line. Okay, now let's talk about the game that's gonna come out when I'm 45 with 3 kids, Kingdom Hearts 4. And KH3 is gonna be the beginning of the Lost Master arc, which is our new saga that we're heading into in Kingdom Hearts. And I'm very excited. I'm excited that we're gonna see new characters, maybe new worlds. Honestly, like I'm just excited for the Kingdom Hearts series to go in a new and different direction, because that has been heavily teased by Nomura a lot. So yeah. The only thing that I'm kind of iffy about is the art style, because it looks like too Final Fantasy-esque. And yeah, and there's a rumor that this world is the Star Wars world, which honestly I'm not too opposed to Marvel or Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts. I think it would be very fun, especially Marvel, because I am a Marvel fan, so I would absolutely love it to see Sora fighting with Spider-Man. I would love a fucking Wanda Scarlet Witch boss fight. And Sora is created by Strelitzia, who is a character from Union Cross who was murdered by Ventus when he was possessed by darkness, and she is the sister of Marluxia, also known as Lauriam. And I think Lauriam and Ven are going to have very important roles in this next arc, especially with Strelitzia in the mix now. And I think at some point they're both going to end up in Quadratum. Honestly, I think the entire gang is going to end up in Quadratum at some point, like Kairi, Aqua, Ven. I think everybody's going to end up in Quadratum, and I think that's where the next saga is going to end. If you want a theory video on that, let me know in the comments. But no, back to what I said about the art style. I think it just looks a little too realistic for my taste. I'm more of a fan of the more cartoony Disney style of the older Kingdom Hearts games. But obviously we're in Unreal Engine 5, so obviously everything's gonna look hyper realistic. It just looks too much like Final Fantasy to me. But I'm very excited to see this new arc and Sora. And he finally ditched them big ass clown shoes. R.I.P. clown shoes. I'm gonna miss Sora's feet. Ayo, that sounded weird as fuck. I'm sorry, I did not mean it like that. I do not have a foot fetish. I meant what I meant is I'm gonna miss the cutscenes, like the ones in like if you look at the cutscenes from KH1, you can with Sora, you see like Sora running weird because of them big ass shoes. That's what I meant. What I'm gonna miss. Y'all, I do not have a foot fetish, I promise. Anyways, we see two people in black robes who are speculated to be the Master and Lucio, and yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4 logo, magic in the making. Probably not coming out to like 2045 at the earliest. And then we see Donald and Goofy, who are
searching for clues in every past world that Sora's been to.
And Donald and Goofy are confronted by what looks to be Hades, but it's not confirmed. And that is the end of Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Hopefully this game comes out within the next 5 years, and that is also the end of this episode and the end of this series. But don't worry, I still have other Kingdom Hearts related content planned for the future, and when Missing Link eventually drops, there will be content for it. And that is the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow all of my socials. And this is Anthony, your professional yapper, signing out. Y'all, for the record, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about Sora's feet. I am not no damn Schneider. I do not have no fucking foot fetish.
You walk away, you don't hear me say,